I'm the Dallas Conservative, here to talk about the presidential election polls for 2020 over the next year and a half. This is my point. To the extent that you believe the polls are real from the mainstream media, such as the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Huffington Post, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, Quinnipiac, all those polling sites, to the extent that you believe those polls is indicative of the extent of your stupidity. You can monitor your own stupidity level, truly, by how much credibility you give to the lie that the New York Times will definitely purport in 2019 and especially 2020, especially in May, June, July, August, September, especially those months, that Donald Trump is behind 11 points, 13 points, 8 points, 10 points. It's a lie. The New York Times is lying to you. Why are they lying to you? Because they are infected with pure evil that has compelled them to take their once long ago good name and reputation of the New York Times and shit on it and crumple it up and throw it in the gutter and stamp on it till it has the worst useless name in the world. That's what they've done at the New York Times, because the cultural Marxism virus has infected the zeitgeist of these now communist population centers, such as New York City, San Francisco, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles. And they are like zombies. They all have the infection, and it is almost impossible to be immune from the infection when you are so thick inside it, just like the plague. So that is what is going on. When you see the Huffington Post says Donald Trump is down 16 points, when you see MSNBC say he's down 13 points, when you see Quinnipiac say he's down 7 points, they're all lying. The person at Quinnipiac, the head pollsters, the people in charge, they're infected. Firstly, they know that if they call more to the area codes of New York City, of Brooklyn, of the Bronx, of Washington, D.C., they are going to tap into the Marxist virus, and they are going to get back the feedback, the symptoms of the Marxist virus, hence their polling numbers. And definitely, if by chance the poll would say Donald Trump is up 1 or 2%, despite them polling 65% the blue infected areas, they are going to just, oh, well, I'm a smart professional at polling. I think this was skewed too much in Trump's favor. I'm going to slide it back 4 or 5 points because it's my job. See, that's their virus talking. All along the non-infected parts of the United States, the more rural, the more suburban parts of the United States that still have American values, that still believe in liberty, in freedom, in integrity, in justice, in true love and true compassion, will have clearly realized that everyone who voted for Trump is extremely pleased with Trump, and thus they are going to vote for him again. Let alone all the not quite so infected people who've had, thankfully, the ability to dig themselves out into reality and say, you know what, this man has done a tremendous job. The economy soaring, America's respected internationally again. We have a man who speaks his opinion with a true backbone. We have a man who truly loves America. We have a man who's shred business regulations at an amazing rate of 22-1. We have a man who's moved the capital of Israel to Jerusalem. We have a man who's made significant efforts to stem the opioid crisis. A man who has correctly allowed our natural resources to thrive and produce energy. A man who has supported our culture by advocating for the persistence of cultural monuments and statues to remain. Who has successfully been able to support 2 conservative Supreme Court justices, a man who has reinvigorated our space program with realistic aspirations to put a man on Mars, a man who has tremendously helped the veterans with their medical situation and the debacle that Obama allowed to fester, a man that has given the American people tax relief by lowering the tax rate, as it should be lower because the current taxation is tremendous communist tyranny. The American people know best how to spend their own money, as opposed to giving it to the insane government that works at about a 1/10 efficiency percentage, as does the private sector, with good reason, because within the government you have no accountability on the funds coming in, nor no accountability on how to spend the funds. Your job is just sit there, so how could anything be efficient? Trump has made business deals totaling, $300 billion with the Far East. He's brought in tremendous money through sending military to Saudi Arabia, which promotes real jobs in America. I don't know if people understand that. That's very important, the influx into the economy, that money coming in. We're selling goods. As I've said, the stock market has hit records across the board. We now have more jobs available than people looking for work. Think about that. One quarter hit almost, if not did hit 4% growth. That's unheard of. He's wrangled in Kim Jong-un. North Korea and South Korea have brokered peace indirectly because of Trump. He's handling Iran. He cut off that insane $150 billion ransom that disgrace Obama brokered to Iran for nothing? For nothing. So they wouldn't build nuclear centrifuges, which they are anyway. Of course they are. He, thank God, removed America from the, once again, insane, ridiculous Paris Climate Accord that basically says, America, we are going to, again, strap you down so you fail and become a third world nation, while China, India, and South America basically just pollute the world. He's brought tremendous respect and admiration to the armed forces, to our wonderful police community, and a huge success. Trump and the southern border? How much more can one man have done to build a wall, to make public the true immigration crisis at our southern border? 100,000 people a month are pouring into our borders. 7 tweets a day are given to manifesting the extreme immigration crisis on the border. Trump has wrangled and insisted and pushed Congress to act despite the forever resistance by the insane Democrats who want nothing but to completely destroy our country. He has done so much for the border. He has declared a national crisis on the border. He has allocated military funds, over $1 billion, to building walls on the border. He has promoted private groups to gather funds to build a wall at the border. What more could he have done and is doing to aid our crisis at the border, to keep the third world leeches out of our society and expose them for what they are? They're not asylum seekers. They just want to feed off our first world success instead of building their own country correctly, because they can't do it because their culture and ultimately their DNA is just too weak. Isn't it? Isn't it? Why can't Guatemala be a first world nation? Why can't Nicaragua be a first world nation? They have resources of all sorts. No, because they don't have the gray matter to do it. They don't have the integrity. They just want to come and destroy our culture, ethnically, economically, culturally. Trump has pointed this out, and he has done exceptional work building that wall, as he campaigned to do. And most of all, above all of these accomplishments, and many that I've forgotten, the most important thing he has done, and this is not rhetoric, this is absolutely true, he has, straight from the heavens above, diminished the greatest evil we know, which is the propaganda of the mainstream media. He has fought them punch for punch and stood there and exposed them as the truly satanic, spin doctor, lying sons of bitches, cockroach, truly base, evil, coward disgraces that they are. Now America knows the curtain has been pulled away, and we see now how truly evil they are. Joe Scarborough, Rachel Maddow, Lawrence O'Donnell, Don Lemon, of course, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Atlantic, Slate, Salon, the Huffington Post, MSNBC, ABC, the whole lot of them. disgusting, evil wretches have been exposed, and now it's been documented in video, in print. They can never recover. Of course, their infected minions still gobble it up, no matter how much they lie. They like that they lie. But as history rolls on, their disgrace will grow through infinity. So then, in conclusion, you can measure your own stupidity by how much you believe the polls of the pure evil media. They're lying to you. Myself, all I can do is wander the streets when I have the dubious pain of finding myself in places like New York City or Washington, D.C., wander the streets and look at the faces of these brainwashed people and think to yourself, those people believe the New York Times is true. Wow, that's amazing. They have the Washington Post and the New York Times newspapers open and they're reading it. And they have suits and they think they're smart. And then they think people like me are stupid, uneducated, and we don't really know the lowdown. They are hopeless. They will never be red-pilled. They're going to live in their sick cultural Marxist delusion forever. It's sad for all of us. So all you can do is really stare at them in amazement. Just like watching two idiots at a chess table who have nothing left but kings on the board try to checkmate each other, and they walk around the kings and they keep walking around for hours trying to checkmate each other. That is the intellectual state of 50% of our nation. In conclusion, you can judge your own stupidity on the extent that you believe the mainstream media polling leading up to the 2020 election. I am the Dallas Conservative.